Hello everyone. Welcome to the Poetess channel, Black Bedtime Stories. I am your Poetess, Sam Adams. Tonight's story is about Maya Angelou. Now, Maya Angelou was born Margaret Annie Johnson, April 4th, 1928. Now, she held many jobs to include an American poet, memorist, actress, professor, cable car conductor, dancer, and civil rights activist, among many. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She received dozens of awards and more than 50 honorary degrees. Now, she was born in St. Louis, Missouri, the second child of Bailey Johnson, who was a doorman and Navy dietitian, and Vivian Baxter Johnson, a nurse and car dealer. Angelou's oldest brother, Bailey Jr., nicknamed Marguerite Maya, and it was derived from my sister, Maya's sister, Maya. When Maya Angelou was 3 and her brother 4, their parents' marriage ended, and their father sent them to Stamps, Arkansas, alone by train, to live with their grandmother, Annie Henderson. During this period, it was very difficult for many African American families. That was not the case for Maya's grandmother. She owned the general store where many folk got their supplies from, and she made many wise and honest investments. Now, young Maya lived through a terrible experience, and it caused her to voluntarily stop talking. It was during this difficult period of silence, when Maya was 8 years old, she developed her extraordinary memory, her love for books and literature, and her ability to listen and observe the world around her. From this quiet beginning emerged a young woman who sang, danced, and recorded poetry. After moving to San Francisco with her mother and brother in 1940, Miss Angelou began taking dance lessons, eventually auditioning for professional theater. However, her plans were put on hold when she gave birth to a son at age 16. After having her son, she auditioned for an international tour of Porgy and Bess and won a role. From 1954 to 55, she toured 22 countries. After a critical car accident where her son was injured, while caring for him in Ghana, she took a job at the African Review, where she stayed for several years. Her writing and personal development flourished under the African cultural renaissance that was taking place at the time. When she returned to the U.S., she began publishing her multi-volume autobiography, starting with the first one being I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. 4 more volumes appeared during the next 2 decades, as well as several books of poetry. Angelou's rich enjoyment of all life's offerings have led her to earn a Tony Award nomination, 3 Grammy Awards, an Emmy, the National Medal of Arts, the Lincoln Medal, and an induction into the National Women's Hall of Fame, among other honors. In 1981, Miss Angelou was appointed Professor of American Studies at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem. Along with her nomination for several important awards, she was able to read a poem that she had written for the inaugural occasion of President Clinton. She was only the second poet to ever recite a poem at a presidential inauguration. Miss Angelou passed away on May 28, 2014 in North Carolina. She was 86 years old. Although her early years were hard and things happened to her that she had no control over, it wasn't until Professor Maya Angelou decided to have a great life, success, and prosperity fell upon her. Maya Angelou, a Black icon. Good night.